we've had a question from Fran, who we happen to work with, who asked, from a TPI screening, so in other words the 16 tests that can be done on any individual to try and help them to improve their motion and mobility, stability for golf, Fran asked, from a TPI screening, can you tell what somebody's swing faults are likely to be? Well, the answer to that is really simple, yes, in 90% of cases. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of that right now. So one, if somebody fails an overhead deep squat, so the overhead deep squat test, I'm going to get a stick to show you this, is a test of how well you're able to go down like this in this fashion. Now, most people like me will tend to fail this test by leaning forwards. They tend to lean towards their quads and not use their glutes as much. The likely swing fault that will create is a standing up in the golf swing, and we see this an awful lot. So when somebody fails an overhead deep squat, in other words ends up like this and not getting down very far, it's highly likely that they're going to, as they swing the golf club in down towards impact, they're likely to stand up because they can't simply maintain that tipped over position. So what we would do in that case is give that person work to do, i.e. an assisted deep squat, in other words something to get them to be able to get down like that, and that would then help them to hold their belt buckle back in order to stay into the impact position over and through whilst they're staying in posture really. Okay, so that's one. The next one's a much more common one as well. These are the two most common ones that I see. The next one's failing of the 90-90 test, which is this. I'm just trying to stand as opposite I can. So it's elbow opposite the shoulder, arm at 90 degrees. We're looking to see how far back somebody can rotate their arm. Now, you should be able to rotate back beyond your spine angle. So you can see my spine's relatively upright. You should be able to get back beyond that. The average tour player will be able to go between 115 and 125 degrees, which is further back than I can get. The reason for that is during the golf swing, we want the right arm, to sit more upright, more laid back than the spine angle. The old adage that's been used is feeling like you're holding a dinner plate at the top of the swing. So you can see that the arm's in a different angle. Now, if you fail this test, if you can only get, and I see this a lot as well, if you can only get to here, and that's often caused by the kind of job people do or the kind of things they've been doing in the past time for a long time, what will tend to happen is that person will end up in the top of a backswing position a bit like this, so they can't achieve that position. So it's no good me as a coach trying to get them to try and sit the right elbow down, because actually however much they're able to do it in practice, they won't be able to do it in real life. They'll end up going into this position. So we tend to see people going from here into this kind of position with the right elbow stuck out, and that causes a lot of over the top movement. So we tend to see that a lot, and that will be a real indicator that somebody's failing a 90-90 test. Anyway, Fran, I hope that's helped, and I hope that inspires some of you guys to go out and get a TPI check, and then we can start working on the right exercises in order to improve your golf swing.